you guys believe that you are the creator of your own destiny? And if you think so, you can type in the chat box, I do, or just raise your hand on the Zoom call. आप में से किनको लगता है कि यू आर द क्रिएटर ऑफ योर ओन डेस्टिनी? आप अपनी डेस्टिनी खुद लिखते हैं, या आप अपना लक खुद बनाते हैं, और you completely disagree and you think all of this is not possible? So come on, raise your hand. Like, I do believe कि I am the creator of my own destiny. Okay, one more hand. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so I see most of us do believe that हम अपनी like destiny खुद ही लिखते हैं. So on that note, we'll start this webinar on personal growth and mental health. So let's start by like establishing some rules. Most of you guys need to turn off your microphone, and अच्छा रहेगा आप जितने लोग अपने कैमरास को ऑन रखेंगे, it can be more personal. We will be able to see one of our reactions. So ये अच्छी बात है. And secondly, we'll do a short Q&A at the end of this webinar. So if you guys have any question, feel free to drop it in the chat box. And lastly, हम ये सारी चीजें discuss कर लेंगे. Okay. So moving on, let's do a quick activity before we talk about mental health and personal growth. So here is the activity you can read. You need to write an adjective which starts with the same letter as your name starts with, that describes you and your current state as a person, and then combine it with your name and write it in the chat box. मेरा नाम देवांग है, तो मैंने लिखा है disciplined देवांग, क्योंकि these days I'm like sort of very disciplined. So you guys also need, जो भी आपका नाम है उससे एक भी एडजेक्टिव आप सोच सकते हो अपने बारे में जो आपको डिस्क्राइब करता है, प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में लिखिए. एंड इफ यू डोंट थिंक कि आपके नेम से कोई आपको वर्ड मिल रहा है, तो राइट एनीथिंग व्हिच डिस्क्राइब्स यू राइट नाउ. तो प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में जरूर लिखिए, एंड लेट्स सी व्हाट यू गाइस कैन कम अप विद. For those of you who are joining right now, this is a short activity that we are doing. आपको अपने नाम जिस भी लेटर से स्टार्ट होता है उसके साथ में एक एडजेक्टिव जोड़ना है which describes you as a person. So let's see. Come on, guys, drop something into the chat box. There are a lot of you. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स है, बहुत सारी एडजेक्टिव्स है, आप कुछ भी लिख सकते हो अपने बारे में. ओके, स्मार्ट समीर. ओके, नाइस. मार्वेलस मालविका. ओके. Confident Ricky. Okay, I guess you are not getting any word by R, but that's okay. Thanks a lot for writing. Okay, come on. Come on, people, drop in the chat box. Okay, we get two more. Comedian Arsh. I think Arsh is a bit on the comedy front. Okay. Philanthropist Preet. Okay, that's nice. Come on. 2 more minutes and then we will move on to the webinar. Okay, helpful victory. That's nice. So you can see like a lot of people, जितने भी हम adjectives लिख रहे हैं, वो actually है क्या? Marvelous, confident, helpful, philanthropist, courageous, disciplined, mindful. All of these come under this umbrella term of personal growth. And that is what we are going to discuss here. So before that, I would like to share something about me, like my own story, why I came into sort of like working on personal growth and mental health. So back in 2017, जब मैं आप लोगों की तरह स्कूल में था, आई थिंक आई वाज इन स्टैंडर्ड 11th. तो उस टाइम आई यूज्ड टू प्ले लाइक हेवीली म्यूजिक. मैं मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा आई वाज इनटू म्यूजिक, और मैं उसे प्रोफेशनली कर रहा था. बट देन आई गॉट सिक, लाइक मुझे एक बीमारी हो गई थी, एमडीआर टीबी, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट स्लोली स्टडली मेरा उस पूरे चीज से, गिटार जिसका मुझे बहुत ज्यादा पैशन था, आई स्टार्टेड धीरे धीरे मैं उस चीज से कटने लग गया. आई बिकेम वेरी नेगेटिव. आई स्टार्टेड क्वेश्चनिंग माई सेल्फ, कंपेयरिंग माई सेल्फ. दो आई वॉज रियली गुड, मतलब मैं काफी स्किलफुल था. आई हैड बीन प्लेइंग गिटार फॉर लास्ट 5 to 6 years. बट ऑल ऑफ सडन कहीं से एक सॉर्ट ऑफ नेगेटिविटी आ गई, एंड धीरे धीरे मैंने बजाना छोड़ दिया. सडनली इट गॉट इवन वर्स कि वो जो मेरे दोस्त थे, जो मुझे काफी मोटिवेट करते थे, बोलते थे कि यू आर समबडी हु आई थिंक इज डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू मेक इट बिग. बट आई स्टार्टेड क्वेश्चनिंग माई सेल्फ. आई बिकेम वेरी नेगेटिव, वेरी इरिटेटिव. मुझे हर छोटी छोटी बातों पे काफी डाउट होता था. मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत कम हो चुका था. एंड स्लोली स्टेडली इट गॉट दैट वर्स कि I started telling my parents that I'm not right. मतलब मेरी कंडीशन इतनी बुरी हो गई थी ना कि I was not able to sleep. Sleeplessness kicked in. अगर आप लोगों ने ये सब वर्ड सुने होंगे, डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, थोड़ा बहुत लाइक डार्क वर्ड्स रिलेटेड टू सुसाइड और वो सारा स्टेट चल रहा था मेरा. आई वॉज इन 11th क्लास, एंड यू नो हाउ ट्रोमैटिक, हाउ स्ट्रेसफुल इट कैन बी. मतलब मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है. कोई अवेयरनेस नहीं थी अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ, एंड नीदर माय पेरेंट्स हैड एनी क्लू कि व्हाट इज हैपनिंग टू दिस ब्यूटीफुल किड ऑफ आवर्स. मतलब ये इतना अच्छा है बोलने में, सब कुछ में, ही डज अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क, बट व्हाट हैपेंड टू हिम सडनली, एंड वी वर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हो क्या रहा है उस टाइम. सो वी कंसल्टेड अ डॉक्टर. उस टाइम जिस चीज से मेरी ट्रीटमेंट चल रही थी, ट्यूबरकुलोसिस की, हमने उन्हीं को कंसल्ट किया, एंड ही सेड समथिंग इज ऑफ. So we got to know कि the medication that I was on, उनका एक साइड इफेक्ट हो रहा था साइकोलॉजिकली, मेंटली. तो ये सारी बीमारियां, ये सारी सिचुएशंस ऑफ नॉट फीलिंग दैट एनर्जाइज, डिप्रेस रहना, थोड़ा थोड़ा हमेशा स्ट्रेस रहना, दोस्तों से बात ना करना, आई कंप्लीटली कट माई सेल्फ ऑफ. मेरे उस टाइम कोई दोस्त नहीं थे. एंड ऑलमोस्ट अराउंड लाइक 8 से 9 महीने आई मेरा रूटीन ये होता था कि आई जस्ट वोक अप. Then I ate my breakfast, went to sleep again. Then I again had my lunch, went to sleep again, went to sleep again, scrolled my phone. That's it. Woke up again the next morning, did the same things. एंड ये साइकिल 9 महीने, 10 महीने, 10 महीने तक चलता रहा. जिस चीज का पैशन, लाइक म्यूजिक, मेरे सबसे ज्यादा क्लोज था, उस चीज को मैंने कंप्लीटली छोड़ दिया. आई स्टॉप्ड परस्यूइंग म्यूजिक. मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं लगा था कि लाइक आई वुड इवन मेक इट. तो वो पूरा फेज ऑफ 2017 2018 गॉट, मतलब इतना ज्यादा डिप्रेसिंग, इतना ज्यादा खराब, that I had to consult a professional. And that is when I got to know about these things of personal growth, mental health, and ये सारी चीजें. I have my background in psychology, तो I eventually got to study also ये सारी चीजें होती क्या. तो I am telling you this story now because दिस इज व्हाट यू कैन रिलेट विद. हम सभी के साथ ऐसा होने वाला है. देयर इज अ स्टैट जो कि मैं आपको इस प्रेजेंटेशन में दिखाऊंगा कि अमंग 4 out of every 4 people or 5 people, one of you whom you know, and even it might be you or your loved one or your close one, they are going to suffer mentally. And यू माइट नेवर नो कि ये कब आएगा, कैसे आएगा और ये क्या होगा, बट ये होगा जरूर. दिस इज व्हाट द स्टैटिस्टिक्स स्टैट्स आर सेइंग. दिस इज व्हाट एवरीबॉडी इज सेइंग अराउंड देमसेल्व्स. तो ये मेरे साथ हुआ, एंड शायद ये मेरे साथ अगर नहीं होता तो मे बी मेरे भाई के साथ हो जाता या मेरे दोस्त के साथ होता, बट ये होता किसी के साथ डेफिनेटली. तो धीरे धीरे करते 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 आई गॉट टू नो सर्टेन थिंग्स अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ. देन मैंने इसकी पढ़ाई भी करी, एंड देन लाइक इस पूरे चीज में अब इतना 6 साल 7 साल हो गया मुझे कि नाउ आई एम प्रिटी वेल ऑफ. एंड एक चीज जो मैं काफी लाइक वनरेबल और पर्सनल होकर बोलूंगा कि इफ यू, अगर आप में से कोई भी आके ना मुझे 2017 में बोलता कि देवांग यू आर गोइंग टू डू अ लॉट बेटर इन योर लाइफ इन 2023, आप मेंटल हेल्थ पे आके वेबिनार दोगे दूसरों को, आई वुडंट हैव बिलीव्ड यू. आई वुड हैव सेड कि दिस इज नॉट एट ऑल पॉसिबल, ये सारी झूठी बातें हैं, एंड आप मुझे झूठा दिलासा मत दो, डोंट गिव मी फॉल्स होप्स. दिस इज व्हाट आई वुड हैव टोल्ड यू बैक इन 2017. बट नाउ लुक एट मी, दिस इज हैपनिंग राइट नाउ, एंड आई एम टॉकिंग ऑन मेंटल हेल्थ, जिस चीज से मैं गुजरा, लाइक सर्वाइव करा एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो दिस वाज द बैक स्टोरी. एंड मैं इसलिए शेयर कर रहा हूँ कि यू विल रिलेट टू इट कि व्हाई वी नीड टू टॉक अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ। एंड हमारे कंट्री में बिकॉज हम ऐसे फैमिली से आ रहे हैं, वी आर ऑल लाइक प्रिविलेज्ड। इफ यू गाइस हैव इंटरनेट आर एक्सेसिंग गूगल मीट, तो वी आर बेसिक नेसेसिटीज आर बीइंग मेट। तो हम मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, बट दे आर सर्टेन फैमिलीज इंडिया के ऐसे पार्ट है जहाँ पे इन सारी चीजों का अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है, बात भी नहीं। हम तो फिर भी मेंटल हेल्थ ये दोनों शब्द को जोड़ के ना एक मीनिंग निकाल सकते हैं। ओके, इट इज रिलेटेड टू साइकी, मेंटल एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट। बट वहाँ आप उन लोगों का सोचो जो जहाँ इंटरनेट का एक्सेस नहीं है, जिनको पता भी नहीं कि मेंटल हेल्थ चीजें होती है। सो वी आर वेरी लकी। सो बिकॉज वी आर लकी, वी आर प्रिविलेज्ड, हमें सारे रिसोर्सेज है। सो वी नीड टू टॉक अबाउट एंड वी शुड कम इन द ओपन एंड टॉक मोर फ्रीली। क्योंकि एज द स्टैट सेज, ये होगा तो किसी ना किसी के साथ, आपके साथ, मेरे साथ, आपके दोस्तों के साथ, किसी ना किसी के साथ होगा। सो इट्स बेटर टू बी अवेयर एंड हैव सम रिसोर्सेज कि अगर होता है तो कैसे करना चाहिए, किसके पास जाना चाहिए, कब हेल्प लेनी चाहिए। So that is what we are going to talk about in this webinar. So this is what our learning agenda will be, like mental health क्या है, हम क्या कर सकते हैं अगर जब ये होता है, and when to seek professional help. So personal growth and mental health के बारे में बात करते हैं कि exactly है क्या personal growth and mental health. Uh, any of you guys want to share something कि like what do you think mental health is? और कुछ भी, अगर किसी को चैट बॉक्स में भी कोई डेफिनेशन या व्हाट यू थिंक मेंटल हेल्थ इज, कोई भी आंसर है, प्लीज ड्रॉप इन द चैट बॉक्स, और इफ यू वांट टू कम अनम्यूट योर माइक एंड प्लीज स्पीक फ्रीली।
Hello, hi, sir, and hello, everyone.
हेलो हेलो।
So, I would like to give some contribution in it. So, kids,
श्योर श्योर।
when we are talking about mental health, today everybody is just going to the doctor and they are just getting normal checkup, or we can say routine checkup they are doing. But I think nobody is talking about this mental health, isn't it, sir? So
यस
the
यस
reason
एग्जैक्टली।
behind it, because we are not coming out of our comfort zone. We think what other people will, think in their head, what kind of perception they will have if we will talk about mental health. So
एग्जैक्टली।
first conception, I just wanted to tell to everyone, whenever you feel lost, whenever you want someone to have around, you want to share your feelings, you want to express your thoughts, everything, go for it. Don't wait for correct time, and don't wait like this is a shame or taboo. This is not a taboo. You have
एग्जैक्टली।
to express yourself very well. Do you agree with me, everyone?
कम
Do
ऑन
you
गाइस,
agree?
रेज योर हैंड्स इफ यू एग्री।
All right, so this is what I wanted to tell to everyone. Be just open about it. Whatever is going through, whatever you want to convey to your parent, to your friends, to your close person, just go for it. But don't keep all the emotions inside. Yeah, that's it, sir, from my side. Thank you.
थैंक्स अ लॉट, थैंक्स अ लॉट। दैट वाज वंडरफुल। यही चीज मैं भी बात कर रहा था, आप मेरी बात करो, अगर 2017 में अगर लाइक मैंने थोड़ा भी डिले किया होता ना अपने पेरेंट्स को बताने में कि आई एम सफरिंग अ लॉट, प्लीज हेल्प मी, प्लीज लेट्स गो कंसल्ट समबडी हु कैन हेल्प अस। तो अगर इसमें थोड़ा सा भी डिले होता ना इन शेयरिंग टू माय पेरेंट्स, मे बी आई लाइक द थिंग्स वुड हैव वर्सन अ लॉट। वो पूरी कंडीशन इतनी बिगड़ जाती ना कि इट माइट लाइक पूरा ट्रेजेक्टरी ही अलग हो सकता था। सो यू सी लाइक स्टैब्लिशिंग दिस फैक्ट कि मेंटल हेल्थ इज एज इम्पोर्टेंट एज फिजिकल हेल्थ, यही इस वेबिनार का लाइक एजेंडा है। एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज द प्राइम टेक अवे कि मेंटल हेल्थ एंड फिजिकल हेल्थ ये दोनों ना चीजें अलग अलग नहीं है। इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द होल बॉडी दैट यू हैव, उसमें माइंड भी आता है, उसमें ये ब्रेन भी है, एंड उस ब्रेन के अंदर एक साइकोलॉजिकल कॉन्सेप्ट है जिसे माइंड कहते हैं। तो वो है तो आपके बॉडी का ही पार्ट है, राइट? तो उससे रिलेटेड दिक्कतें भी तो बॉडी की ही दिक्कतें हुई ना, भले ही आप उन चीजों को देख नहीं पाते हो, कर नहीं पाते हो। एंड यू थिंक अबाउट इट लाइक मतलब कितना ही ज्यादा ये अनटॉक्ड है, मतलब अंडर वैल्यूड है, अंडर अप्रिशिएटेड है कि आपको जब छोटी सी कट लग जाती है या कुछ भी हो जाता है, या हल्का सा भी बोन फ्रैक्चर हो जाता है, कुछ भी हो जाता है, यू रश टू अ डॉक्टर, यू कंसल्ट अ डॉक्टर वेरी क्विकली। बट थिंक अबाउट कि आप सैड हो, काफी दिन से सैड हो, या काफी दिन से बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस्ड हो, काफी दिन से अपने किसी से कनेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हो, अपने फ्रेंड्स को इग्नोर कर रहे हो, यू आर नॉट वांटिंग टू कम आउट ऑफ योर रूम। तो ये सारी भी तो दिक्कतें हुई ना। Why are you not taking these things seriously? Why are you not? Why do you think? Why do you think कि just watching a movie is going to fix it? Just going out is going to fix it. It might help, like a momentary relief दे देगा आपको, but it is not going to fix it. So that is why mental health के बारे में बात करना जरूरी है. तो अगर हम mental health इस term को define करें, तो you can read the definition at the screen, and इसमें और कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऐड करने के लिए मैं ये बोलूंगा ना कि इट इज अ स्टेट ऑफ माइंड जो कि सिर्फ आपके नेगेटिव चीजों को ही नहीं होता है. इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट ट्रीटिंग मेंटल इलनेसेस, इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट ट्रीटिंग डिप्रेशन, और इट इज अबाउट ट्रीटिंग स्ट्रेस और एंजाइटी. बट मेंटल हेल्थ की एक पॉजिटिव साइड भी है. इट इज अबाउट अपलिफ्टिंग व्हाट यू ऑलरेडी है. आपके करंट कैपेबिलिटी है, आपके एक फोकस का एक लेवल है, आपके कंसंट्रेशन का एक लेवल है. तो उन सारी चीजों को भी ऊपर ले जाना मेंटल हेल्थ में ही आता है. So it is about managing the negative states also and uplifting the positive states. तो ये पूरा जो सर्कल बनता है इसे हम मेंटल हेल्थ कहते हैं. एंड साइकोलॉजी में हमें यही पढ़ाया जाता है कि मेंटल हेल्थ दोनों चीजों के लिए, सिर्फ पागल और बीमार को ट्रीट करना मेंटल हेल्थ नहीं होता है. वो एक पार्ट, एक छोटा सा पार्ट है उस मेंटल हेल्थ पूरे चीजों का. बट हमारे इंडियन फैमिलीज में, इंडियन कल्चर में क्या होता है, कभी भी आप बोलोगे ना किसी को कि मेंटल हेल्थ हमें, लाइक मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए कंसल्ट करने आते हो, तो आपको पहले ये बोलेंगे कि तू पागल हो गया है क्या, क्या बातें कर रहा है, ऐसी ऐसी आपको, लाइक, एंड उससे आपको अशेम्ड फील होगा. यू विल थिंक कि यार, इज समथिंग रियली रॉन्ग विथ मी, एम आई रियली मेंटल. एंड मेंटल वर्ड का ही एक ना काफी नेगेटिव एसोसिएशन. ऐसा हम बोलते हैं कि मेंटल मतलब सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक पागल. बट एक्चुअली ऐसा है नहीं. इसका लिटरल वर्ड का मतलब है समथिंग रिलेटेड टू योर माइंड. तो this we need to understand कि mental health is about also managing the negative sides of it, जो भी दिक्कतें आ रही हैं, and also lifting your positive capacities of your mind. तो ये दोनों चीजें समझना बहुत जरूरी है.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt in between. Most
yeah,
of the
yeah.
students are just conveying this message. If you can go with only English language, as most of them understand English well. Only.
Sure, sure.
Thank
Okay,
you.
cool, cool, cool. Yeah, this was the stat that I was talking about. One in every five adults experienced a mental health concern in the past year, and this is really concerning. You think like abhi, how many participants are there right now in the meeting?
So around 35 participants are there.
So around 35. So if you take this ratio, according to this ratio, seven of us are going to experience some mental health breakdown.
True that.
Maybe next year. You don't know about the timing because this is very uncertain. How this is going to hit you, you don't know about it, but it is going to hit you for sure. Maybe you or your friend or your one of your family members. So we need to educate ourselves. We need to educate others too. We need to talk about it on our dinner table. This is not something to be ashamed of. Firstly, this is not something to ignore, and secondly, this is something that you need education on. It is not something you can read. You can watch an Instagram reel and become educated and take care of your mental health. You need some formal education about it, that when these things happen, what sort of action do you need to take. Okay, moving on to it. Yeah, this one I really like. If you talk about personal growth, uh, you need to talk about mental health, and if you talk about mental health, eventually you are going to raise your personal growth. So because this webinar is not only about mental health but also about personal growth, let's combine these two topics and talk about them. So how many of you guys like do something, some sort of action on a daily basis that is enhancing your personal growth? It could be reading books, it could be exercising, it could be playing, pursuing a hobby, it could be going to therapy, it could be like taking devoting time to self-care, it could be meditating, it could be doing some sort of holistic ritual, anything that you guys do. How many of you are currently doing any sort of these activities? Please write in the comment box. Anything that you are. Okay, if you can mention what are you doing, that would be also great. Soccer and MMA workout. Okay, that's really impressive, Samir. Reading and writing, that's great. Meditation, that's great. Oh, yoga, that's great. Karate, that's great. Jogging, that's great. Kickboxing, that's good. Soccer, exercise on the monkey bar and study. Okay, monkey bar, I guess you're into calisthenics. Okay, that's great. Sleep. Okay, sleep is also necessary. Martial arts, reading books, zoning out. Okay. Okay, so like most of you have mentioned something related to exercise front, and I really like talk about exercising when we are talking about mental health. So we are going to talk about that in some second. Okay. So you see, like personal growth. If I tell you like what helped me better my own mental health, that was exercising, and that comes under the umbrella of personal growth. Back in 2019, when I consulted a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists, they uh, obviously I was on medication. They told me to do some specific, emotion related exercises. They told me to do a lot of things. But one thing that I started doing by my own self that uplifted my self-esteem, boosted my confidence, that made me feel better in present moment was exercising. And it was not something I wanted to do. I was very lazy. I was so depressed. I lacked that I didn't even have that much energy to just go out and take a walk for 5 minutes because I also lacked energy objectively. I was suffering from tuberculosis, so my doctors told me you should avoid gym. But I don't know what happened. My brother made me watch a calisthenics video. I don't know how many of you guys know calisthenics. Is basically exercising using your body weight. So he made me watch a video, and something hit me. Something, and I don't know. It was a moment of inspiration or what was that, but something hit me. And I told my brother, maybe I can start exercising, and let's see what happens. I woke up the next morning. I did, I think, a 15-minute workout, and instantly I felt better. I was like, wait, this was missing for last 9 to 12 months. I haven't felt this for quite a long time. I woke up again, and the next day I exercised. The next day I exercised, and slowly, steadily, and this is documented using scientific studies that exercising has crazy benefits when you talk about your mental health, even instant benefits. You go for a workout, and those of you who go for a workout or do any sort of physical activity, the the mental boost that you get from an exercise session, that is evident. You don't have to read science about it. You just do it and you feel it instantly. So that was the one thing that really helped me kickstart my personal growth journey, exercising. And slowly, steadily, that lifted my self-esteem to that level where I can start doing something more, a little more, a little more. And that little more was reading. Then I started reading. Then I started reading books on nonfiction, on mental health. And slowly, steadily, you take one step at a time and everything starts to kick in. And that is how, personal growth ties to mental health. When you start reading books, when you start meditating, or do any sort of these activities that make you better from your previous self, that make you better from what you were yesterday, that is how you take care of your mental health as well. And if you do exercise, and I go very heavy when I talk about personal growth, that you need to exercise, do any sort of movement, like, and not even exercise, just move your body. If you can move your body, uh, instantly you can have that energy to at least manage your mental health. If you are feeling low, it's okay to feel low. Take some time, go for a walk. If you want to run, go for a run. If you want to play some sports, do anything, just move your body, don't lay around. It is going to help your mental health, better your mental health significantly. So please do that. Okay, let's do this activity. I am really excited for this one. So we are talking about personal growth, and how many of you guys like read non-fiction books? Like, do you guys read non-fiction books? Okay, okay, okay. So back in 2018, I started reading non-fiction books, and whatever I am doing today, I would attribute to books, because I tend to do a lot of things, and whatever and however I am doing today, I would attribute them to the non-fiction books that I started reading in 2018. Because we all aspire to be something. We all look up to, maybe let's say I really like Virat Kohli, and I wish if he could mentor him, but that's not possible. Realistically speaking, he doesn't have the time to even mentor me. But I can read his books, right? I can read one of his autobiographies or biographies. So think about it. A lot of great people whom a lot of us aspire to be, whom a lot of us take inspiration from, they already have written a lot of books, and they have accumulated all of their wisdom, whatever they have learned through their experiences, through their failures, through their mistakes, through their successes. They all have attributed that into a 365 page book or 300 page book. Like, wouldn't you consider that to be one of the gold mines for our generation? That you can read a 300-page book and can store or download 100 years of wisdom from somebody. And that is what changed everything for me, just reading books. Because when I read books, I could feel myself talking to that mentor, that he is literally speaking to me and saying, okay, this is what you're doing wrong in this present moment, and you need to rethink, you need to work through them and better yourself. And that's what I really did for a very long time. And from where I was in 2017 to 2019, like, I would just say one day, I didn't want to live at that time. I was into that zone where everything was so hopeless, so dark, that I just wanted to end. And my parents literally told me, please child, don't give up, because if you would, like, what would happen to us? So coming from that point to where I am now, like exercising, book reading, meditating, these things, all of these things that you do on a daily basis for your personal growth, that is what has helped me to better and uplift my mental health. So let's do this quick activity. This is for personal growth only. So I want to see what you guys would write. So, what would you desire to do if you knew you had no limitation and had abundant resources? No constraints of time, abundant of money, no restrictions from family, and no limitation. So, what is that one thing, Because we all want to do something. We all have, this innate desire to do something big, to do something that is worth appreciating. So, what is that one thing? We all have dreams. So, this is basically a dream question. So, what would you guys do if you knew you had no limitation? If you knew you could not fail, and even if you would fail, that is very normal. That is just taking you one step closer to your dream. So, what would you do? Write a novel or paint? Okay. Cook and eat anytime I want and always, but ingredients. I don't know. I understand that last part, but I got your cook and eat bit. Would write poetry. That's nice. I have done what I do right now also. Okay. Open a business. Buy what? Buy what? Can you please elaborate? Give people food. Okay, that's very generic. That's very generous. Sorry. My desire is to be a multi-millionaire by producing music. Okay, you're into music. pursue football as a career and get every good score from it already open a business. Okay. Okay, you are into cooking, biryani and all. Chill out, relax and help and draw. Be a stand-up comedian. That's amazing. Do charity. Okay. Come on guys, right? Make a huge house and have all of them. Okay, that's nice. Taekwondo training center. That's crazy. Motivate girls and okay, so you guys can continue writing. So I see that a lot of you are writing like really good things. Somebody wants to open their own center, pursue football as a career. Somebody wants to cook biryani. That's also good. Uh, so why not like pursuing certain things that you really want to? Why are you just writing these answers on activities like these? Like, what's stopping you right now? And I am not here to sell you some sort of motivation. I'm just asking a very genuine question. Something that you really know that you want to do, why are you not doing it? And yes, there are certain reasons of I get, circumstantial issues, family issues. I totally relate. I also come from a middle class background, so I absolutely know what sort of circumstances we face. But still, can you not take that one step right now with whatever you have that can push you towards that dream of yours? If you obviously I get maybe for somebody who wants to pursue athletics or sports professionally, maybe there are certain constraints. It might not happen, but why not give it a go? Why not even like go for if you think that is not able that is not possible professionally, why not hobby, like pursue it as a hobby, or do something, do something. If not even pursue it professionally, do it for yourself. At least that would make you happy in this present moment, right? If you want to cook biryani, go cook biryani. If you want to play soccer, go play soccer for some time. Take that one step, right? If you want to open a business, this is 2024 is the great year, the best year to open start a business. You've got AI tools, you've got ML, everything is sorted. Just open a laptop, connect it to a Wi-Fi, and crank up some code. Just use AI tools, you can start a business. I know, dude. What is stopping you? And there are common answers. What's stopping people from pursuing their dreams? Like I would say number one factor is fear of failure, or maybe you can put a slash and write not getting out of comfort zone. It is so hard. It is so hard to come out of that comfort zone and accept failure, because we don't like to fail, right? People are going to criticize. What would mom say? What would dad say? What would my friends say? Okay, you started something and you failed. That's okay. Everybody fails, right? So I would request whatever you guys have written in the chat box for yourselves, if you can, please go pursue that or do something about it, right? Do something, because what you have been really wanting to do and have not done yet, if you even take that slightest step, you'll instantly feel better in this present moment. So that's surely a win. And I totally get. I'm not here to, sell some motivation. You do regardless of your obstacles. No, no, no. I get your obstacles. I get those family barriers. I get those circumstantial issues. I'm just saying, do small things, right? With whatever you have. If starting a business demands you $1 million, I get it. How can you have $1 million before starting a business? But you can still, you can still use Canva, free softwares to run some ads. So do something, right? That's the whole point of this activity. Whatever you have been wanting to do, start doing it, regardless of what people are going to say, regardless of how, what would happen, whether or not you are going to succeed or fail, regardless of any of these things, just do. Okay. And that, that brings us to this, to do section of this webinar, like what can we do about our mental health and personal growth in general. So I think two of it I have already discussed, like moving your body is slash exercise and reading books. These were mostly on the personal growth side of things. And yeah, you can see this. A recent study has found that people who exercise report 43.2% less days of poor mental health than those who didn't exercise. So you can read, like, there's a huge gallery of science around this, how exercise helps better your personal growth and mental health. So if you have time, go check it out. If you don't have time, just do not read, but do exercising. Okay, let's talk about these two. I think when talking about mental health, these two are really important. Uh, you know what uh, Indrikala has had said in the starting of this webinar, like, we all feel sort of ashamed, in talking about these things. Like, if you're feeling sad, if you're having some negative, really dark thoughts, you think like expressing to your friend or expressing to your dad or mom or telling somebody about it is not worthy. Uh, Maybe, and especially for boys, I do get this. When you say you are not feeling right, your friends might joke around you. Your friends might say, no, this is not what strong boys do. Boys are meant to be strong, boys are meant to be tough. Why are you being so soft on yourself? But none of it is real. None of it has any sort of basis in reality. Why can't boys or men, why can't they feel low? uh, because emotions, we all have emotions, right? Sadness, happiness, joy, blissfulness, angry, irritation, all of this is very objective, something that is present in all of us. So if boys are feeling low, if boys are not having that energy to cope up with things that is happening around them, what is wrong in that? So whenever you go through these things, slightest of things, I would say, like, if you notice you have been feeling very low in energy, if you think you have been feeling some sort of tension around yourself, related to work, related to study, related to school, if you do not feel right, related to any of these things, just share. And you need to share to your mom, share to your dad, share to anybody, who can understand. Or even if they do not understand, let them know that something is wrong, let them know that something is happening, because that is the first step. If you do not let them know that something is wrong, you will be struggling all by yourself. And maybe that one step, that one help that you would have gained from sharing, you will miss on that. I think there people are raising a lot of hands. Do you guys have any question? Any question you guys want to ask? Okay, we'll do a Q&A in like short time. Okay, I'll just finish on that. So this is what I'm like emphasizing a lot. Please share with your mom, please share with your dad, with your friend, anybody. And if you are in a state of listening, then please listen to who is sharing. That might be a friend, that might be your brother, your sister, even your mom and dad. Listen to them, talk to them, ask them these questions. Are you okay? How have you been doing lately? Like, is there something that you want to talk about? If they are not opening up, try to ask these open-ended questions. How are you doing? I have been observing that, there's something wrong. There's something you don't talk about much. Do you want to share something? What is going on? Do you want to, you know, uh, something is bothering you? Can you please share to me? Let's go out for a walk. Let's talk about this. If you care about your friend, your brother, your sister, time and again ask these questions. Even if they avoid, ask again. So connect with others. This is really important when you talk about mental health. And the last one is acknowledge your feelings. Whatever you are feeling, there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. If you are feeling angry, obviously there's nothing wrong with that emotion. How you channel that emotion is what you need to learn about it. Excuse me. So yes, we'll take all the questions pretty soon. Please start typing your questions in the chat box if you can, and in just 2-3 minutes we are going to do this Q&A. Okay. So yeah, on the last point, I was telling that whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling sad, if you're not having any energy to cope with things, if you're feeling very negative, if you're feeling a lot of tension in your mind, just acknowledge it first. It's okay. It's okay. You will not be at your 100% state 100% of the times. Life, there's a very metaphorical concept. What does heart rate look like? It looks like this, up and down, up and down. And whenever it's a flat line, you all know what it means, right? So life is meant to be like up and down, up and down, up and down. And our emotional state, mental state is also meant to be up and down, up and down, because that's the natural state of human beings. So acknowledging, accepting what is going on with you, that is the first step towards healing. That is the first step towards bettering your mental health. And then sharing about it, that's what you need to do afterwards. And when you do so, this is the time, then you need to decide whether or not you want to seek professional help or not. And when talking about mental health, uh, the stats that we see online, maybe one in every five, these come from what all have been reported. Think about it. A lot of people don't even go to professional help, don't even seek the help of a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They think, why would I need to go and talk about my mental state to somebody? He's also a human. What is he going or she going to do? But this is not the case. They are trained people who go through a curriculum of 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, who study about these things very deeply, you know, and they can really help you. They can really educate you what is happening with you. They can really give you the tools, and that is what we use in this field. They can really give you the tools to fight these, to overcome these mental challenges, to cope up with these mental or stressful situations. So there will be times when you can or cannot cope on your own. uh, Based on that, you need to decide whether or not you need to seek professional help. If you like go with my suggestion, I would say, if things have been really bad, if things are really not manageable by your own self, you need you I think going for one consultation wouldn't do you any harm. So at least go for one consultation. And in today's day and era, there's tons of psychological help, professional help available online. Even if you cannot afford, there are options out there. So please go and seek some professional help when you really think it is needed. Uh, I think in my case, I almost seek professional help for almost 2 years. And then I have been managing on my own pretty well. So you see, like things go like this and this. Sometimes you might need professional help, sometimes you don't. So yeah, just as like mental health is just as important as your physical health because it is part of your body, right? There's nothing outside concept that we are talking about. We are talking about our own body. So yeah, that was it. I think actionable steps for from this webinar would be these four: going for any sort of exercising, reading books, and sharing what you feel and acknowledging what you feel. Now let's go for Q&A. Any questions you guys want to ask, please, you can write in the chat box, or if you want to unmute and ask, speak freely, you are welcome to do so.
Hi, sir. Sir, my name is Nandini.
Hello,
Sir, what is your age?
my age is 25 right now.
Okay, sir.
Was that relevant to? Okay, every time I try to talk.
Um, Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for coming here. Sir, I have a question. So,
Yeah, please ask.
I know, I know that there's something wrong with me and my mental health, but I don't know
Mhm.
what's wrong with me. And so when I want to talk about it, I start crying. I don't know what to say. And then the person I'm trying to talk to probably gets annoyed or pissed off, like, why don't you want to talk to me? They feel hurt, but they don't understand that I don't know how to express myself.
Uh, Firstly, what is your name? Can you please share your name?
My name is Dara Simi.
Okay, okay. So firstly, I would like highly appreciate you opening up. That takes a lot of courage that you tend to, um, when you want to express, you tend to cry. This is a sort of like a bold statement. Many people even cannot do so. So, cheers for that. I would say, Nara, like, you have already done the first step. You know something is wrong, and you have already tried to share with somebody. I would say if you can, like, if you can find someone else who is able to understand you well and good, and if you cannot find yourself, I think you at least try, try to talk to somebody whose job is to do so, maybe a psychologist, maybe go seek professional, not in terms of, to fix you or something like that, but to even understand you. Okay, what is happening, why you tend to cry when you start talking about these things, what is happening. So even to understand the situation, you can talk to somebody who's professional enough to do so. And one thing I would suggest, you mentioned that you are not able to express very freely. Try different modes of expression. Try writing. Why do you always want to speak and express? You know, when you tend to experience those emotions, try expressing them like using words. Try writing. Maybe that might help. And very maybe maintain a diary. Something sort of a journal. Whenever you feel yourself going through that same turmoil of emotions, start writing them down. And you don't have to be, your expression doesn't have to be perfect. Just write anything what you feel like, anything that you're feeling. Just be true to yourself. Just write whatever you're feeling and maintain that journal. And this is what, psychologists and professionals even you suggest you to do. They tell you to maintain a journal for your emotional health. Okay, anything else? If that
Okay,
have
sir. Sir, is it weird if I get emotional easily? Like, I cry a lot. Like, Some people think I'm so strong and brave, but I actually really get emotional. Maybe there's a misunderstanding or a very tiny situation, and then I start crying and all. Is it a problem?
No, see, this is what we tend to do, right? Whenever something happens, otherwise we tend to categorize it as a problem. Crying is not a problem. That is a natural state of expression. We also cry when we are way too happy. When something really, something surprisingly happens and it is on a positive front, we also cry happily, right? So I wouldn't say it is a problem or it is a bad thing or it is a good thing. I would say if you have been noticing and observing yourself crying a lot, okay, then I would say try to maintain a journal and maybe talk to somebody who understands you or go at least consult a professional. There's no problem. You don't need to label yourself about these things. You don't need to judge your own cases. Let this be a job of somebody else who is qualified enough to do so.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anybody else wants to ask something?
Yes, hello, hi, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, so adding on this, I just wanted to know one
Mm-hmm.
thing from your side, sir. Like, there is a taboo. Like, we,
Mm-hmm.
generally don't talk. As a lot of students have told, like they
Mm-hmm.
want to share or express their emotion with each other, but they are somewhere, afraid. Mostly it happens with the boys. The reason
Mm-hmm.
behind is, I think there is a stereotypical thinking like boys cannot cry, boys cannot express their emotion. So can you just give little guidance to everyone how we can remove this taboo? Like boy can also express their emotion. They can also come up with their thoughts, perception, whatever is going in their head, rather than just thinking like it's the duty or job of girls only.
Mm, I think you just already did that. That is the answer by talking, right?
Yeah.
uh, by going to these webinars and getting to talk with people who went through these things by themselves. I am also a boy. I went through a crazy mental health breakdown. Like uh, uh, things were really bad, really really bad, really dark, really negative, but and I openly talk about these things. I think whatever I am today, I attribute a lot of it to the mental breakdown that happened with me, because, with these mental breakdowns and struggles, there also comes power, and you will feel extremely confident. It's in that strength that you gain from all those struggles. So I think uh, what we really need to do is first of all understand, first of all it is very important to understand that this is something that is real. That is not a concept. Mental health is not a concept. Depression, anxiety is not just there. These are not just concepts. These happen for real, and these happen with people whom we love, with ourselves, with our brothers, sisters, daughters. So if these, and you you need to also understand that because of these things we also lose somebody we love. So these are not things that we need to joke around, or feel ashamed of. This is just like a disease. If somebody dies from cancer, somebody also dies from depression. So these are equivalent. So whenever we understand things in their reality, mental health is a reality just as physical health. So when you understand that this is not something to joke around or make fun of or to be feel ashamed of, then you will take that first step of talking about it in open. And that is what I have been doing for a very long time. Whenever I notice, something is off with my friend or with my brother, or even from my, for a fact, from for my father. We in Indian family, it is very hard. Father and son, they don't talk about these things. They only talk about financial matters or responsibility matters. But I tend to ask my father, Dad, are you okay? Like, how have this office thingy of yours? Are you not very stressed right now? So I tend to ask, and you will, if you start observing and really start listening to what they are saying, you will notice their emotional states. You will hear what they are really trying to say, even if they are not able to express it right. If you keep asking those good questions, how are you feeling? Is there something that is bothering you right now? For a very long time, for a very long period of time, I have been noticing that you do not talk about it very openly. Do you want to share something? So ask open-ended questions. Go and talk with your friends. Go and talk with your friends who is not very social. Talk to somebody who is introverted. It is very hard for introverted people to to express about these things. But you going and asking just one line, how are you doing lately? I have observed that you don't talk about things. Do you want to share? Is this something that is happening with you? Is this something that you want to talk about? Just open-ended questions would do. And the moment if you keep asking, there's going to be one time that no matter how introverted, they are going to speak. They are going to speak up. So, first of all, understand that these things are real. These things are as important as your physical health. And then go, just talk, connect with others. I think these are the two main points. First, understand. So obviously, we need to understand that this is a thing, and mental health is for real. Mental health awareness, इसी को mental health awareness कहते हैं, that you understand what is mental health and what are certain things that happen around it, and then you have that education of asking the right questions. What does a psychologist do? He just asks you the right questions, and you open up automatically. So I think that is what we all need to do collectively. And the more we ask questions, the more people are going to talk, the more people are going to share their mental health stories, and the more all of this is going to be less, stigma less. So I think that is happening through these webinars. In India, we are noticing a change about mental health now. At least in tier 2, tier 3 cities, people are talking about mental health. So that's a great sign.
Thank you so much, sir. I think Dr. Rabia, Sarah is having one question. Please go with it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. I actually went out in the chat box about like people misunderstanding me a lot whenever like
Mm-hmm.
I try to express my emotions, and since childhood I've like not expressed well, and basically I've been like the perfect child for my parents. So now as I've started to like fall apart a bit because of struggles, it's become hard for my like the family members to understand this part.
I totally get you, Rabia. I think uh, this happened with me also. From like I think from fifth or sixth grade, I had been that perfect child for my parents. I scored perfectly. Everything was sort of like on a resume of a perfect child, academically sound, in extracurriculars, doing sports, all of that. And when that happened, my parents didn't have a slightest of clue ki what is happening with him. Why is he falling apart from those standards? Why does he not want to pursue what he wants to? I even told them I am not going to college. I will study on my own. I'm not doing anything for graduation and all that. So I think we all go through that phase of where people are not able to understand, when you are going in this stable line or linearly going upwards, and all of a sudden you dip down. Obviously people are not going to understand that phase, what is happening with you. And that is why these webinars become really important. That is why talking about mental health becomes really important, because when you understand that this is a natural state of human being, we are not going upwards every time linearly. Everything goes like this and this and this. So whenever we understand that this is a natural progression, this is where we can do something about it. We can develop those tools. Okay, how we need to tackle this situation. First of all, the struggle that you're feeling right now is very real. So if your parents or if somebody around you is not able to understand, I would say, uh, this is the major issue, in Indian families. I also come from those families where I didn't have anybody around me, especially my parents, my mom and dad. They were not able to understand, but I had my big brother, and he is as educated as me. So I knew the things that I would say, the words that I would use, he will be able to understand, at least objectively. In literature, if I'm saying I'm feeling low, he is able to understand those sentences. I would say try to find somebody like that. Even maybe your brother. Even you can share it to your teachers, right? uh, to somebody who is able to understand at least what you're saying objectively. Obviously we are not able to express very incorrect terms, but whatever you are able to express, if somebody is able to understand those sentences, that would do. And almost for 6 7 months my parents didn't understand. He didn't even understand. Even uh, I remember this instance where the psychiatrist made my parent understand, okay, he is struggling, you need to understand this. So it went to that point. So this is not, and we cannot blame our parents for not being able to understand. They did not attend any sort of these webinars about mental health. So it's also not their mistake. But if you keep on expressing to your parents, if you keep on saying, okay, things are not right with me, please mama sit down, I need to talk to you, ये चीजें मुझे परेशान कर रही है, ये चीजें मुझे दिक्कतें दे रही है, please let's talk about it. And best, if you can go seek a professional help. I cannot emphasize on this anymore. If people around you are not able to understand, go seek professional help. Go talk to somebody who is trained enough to do so.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And actually, like whenever I try to do this, sir, they end up going like the wrong way. They start misunderstanding me, like I start to being ungrateful or something like that.
Yes. This is all, very common. When any of us express, that we are feeling this, we are feeling sad, we are not feeling very optimistic or very positive or very hopeful. I have also observed that people tend to throw opinions on you. People tend to throw, why are you feeling sad? Like they suddenly ask you this, why are you feeling sad? You have a lot of things. You should be feeling grateful. You should be feeling privileged. You have all these amenities. Look at poor people, outside of your house. They do not even have proper food or clothes to wear. You have all these things, and yet you are complaining about how you are feeling. Again, lack of mental health awareness. This is, you can connect the dots. Lack of mental health awareness.
And so, like, I have a brother of mine. He has ADHD. So, like, to understand that point, I have to like take care of him and make sure he grows through that while studying at the same time and focusing on my extracurricular activities. And it kind of like becomes hard for me to like stay mentally stable throughout this.
Yes, Abhay, I can like totally relate. Already you have somebody in your family who is sort of on that front of dealing with mental health on a daily basis. ADHD is something that demands care, that demands professional care, I would say. And I think he's already counting on you, because you are somebody who's educated enough, who is able to understand what ADHD is, right? And obviously that is, you have your own battles to fight, and then you need to also support him. And obviously that comes with some sort of heaviness on your side as well. And I completely understand that. That is why I'm suggesting, if you are not able to find somebody who is able to understand you, then go seek professional help. And there's no, like, I'm not suggesting, go consult a psychiatrist and start taking pills and medication and, be on a prescription. At least, talk out your feelings. You cannot underestimate the magic of even a one session. So go, just sign up for an online consultation or anything like that, and just go talk your heart out. Go express. If you want to vent. If you want to cry, just cry.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for advice, sir.
You're welcome.
So I have one more question. So why we have mental health?
Sorry, can you pardon?
So I am asking that why we have mental health and what is the reason of this mental health?
If I am able to understand you correctly, you are asking why we have mental health.
Yes, sir.
uh, why we have mental health, I think, because we have mental health, right? There's no reason for questioning why we have mental health. Because you see, we have physical health, we have this body, and this body contains a lot of organs. This body contains a heart, a liver, kidneys, all of that, hands, legs, everything. But this body also has a brain. And inside brain, whatever goes around, whatever happens on a biological level, because inside mind there's also something in psychology which is called as a mind. And that mind is not like a brain. That mind is not an organ. That mind is a concept. But there are certain things that happen inside brain. You cannot see your thoughts, but you can see your thought activation in the brain. So everything related to brain and the mind, whatever happens, everything around it is termed as mental health. So because brain is an organ, and there are certain things that happen on a daily basis, that happen on a second basis inside brain. So there can be certain things that go wrong with the brain, and there can be certain things that are going right with the brain, and everything comes under this umbrella term of mental health. So we have diseases, brain related diseases, mental health related diseases, and then we have also positive concepts of, ki now my mental health, now I don't have any diseases, but I want to upgrade myself. Like, you don't have any heart disease, right? Your cholesterol is good, you have everything, but why do you go for cardio exercises? Why do you run? Because you want to, better your cardio state, you want to better your heart rates. So that is why we have mental health, and that is why what we are talking about here. Hope that answers your question. Okay, I think it's almost 1 hour plus. So any more questions, guys? Because it's almost the end time of this webinar. Any questions?
Yes, sir. There is one question Kedarnath's child has written in the chat box. Do you think today's kids are more likely to see small worries as depression?
uh I think, exactly, when we talk about mental health, and this word depression, this has been sort of like misused, uh, especially in Gen Z's, or younger generation. Because often any sort of small stress life situations or anything that happen, we tend to categorize and express, I'm feeling depressed. uh, this happened with me and I'm very depressed these days. But that's not correct. That's a very subjective expression. But in objective mental health terms, depression is something else. Depression is something that is very serious. Depression is something that you need professional help with. You need to see psychiatrist or a psychologist. So depression as an subjective expression is synonymous to, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling low. So I would, also suggest when, whenever we are talking about mental health, we need to be very picky and choosy about the words we are using. Obviously, it's good to speak your heart out and speak freely, but with time, as you become more and more educated towards your own mental health, try to choose terms very carefully. Because you might say, I'm feeling very low, I don't like to live. This is a very serious statement. When you say something like that, I don't like to live, you might just wanting to express, I just want to feel better. But saying I don't want to live is a very serious statement. So exactly, understanding that things, whatever you're feeling, obviously there's a particular intensity to it, and intensity is expressed using certain words. So pick those words rightly. And when we are talking about, the whatever, what the question was, like categorizing small stressful situations as depression, obviously that is not correct. Depression is something that has its own diagnosis. There needs to be certain symptoms, and if you fall onto those like 5 to 8 symptoms, then somebody, then a psychologist maybe diagnoses you that you are having depression. But I obviously get, this language expression that we tend to use. So don't stress upon when somebody says that I'm feeling depressed. Ask them. When somebody uses these terms that are for sure that are very serious, they are feeling, when somebody says I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling very dark, I'm feeling very negative, go with a follow-up question. Ask a follow-up question. What do you mean by that? Like you said, you're feeling depressed, what is happening? And if they again express with the same intensity and elaborate, then then there's thing to be worried about. But if you are saying that you went through you were not able to do maybe a certain task or a homework, and teacher scolded you and you feel depressed, that is not something, that is a subjective expression. Any more questions, guys? Because it's already time's up, so we need to wrap this up.
I would like to say something on this, sir.
Yeah,
At
yeah, please
last,
do, please do.
lot of students are praising you, and we all are glad to have you here because the way you have given us each one of the question, very nicely. So we just want to praise you, sir. Thank you so much, and literally, we are happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It was a pleasure. It was a really, like I mentioned, I never thought I would be somebody who will be giving, webinars on mental health. So to me it feels like a full circle, having that same mental health struggle, not being able to express, not my parents were not able to understand, then slowly steadily using personal growth to overcome all of that, and then now taking a webinar. I'm like really grateful for this opportunity as well, and glad that all of you enjoyed and hopefully learned something from this webinar.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, most welcome. So I think we can wrap this up, right?
Yes, sir. We can wrap this up. And students, for you all, you were so interactive, you were so energetic, and we all are proud of you. Everyone, just give a big round of applause for yourself. Very good. Thank you, sir. Now we can wind this up.
Yeah, it was great connecting with you all. Remember, you all are very lovely, you all are magnificent. So go pursue what you want to. Do not worry about anything. Everything falls into its place. Just go do your thing. Just do. Focus on doing. Don't think a lot. Don't stress about things. Just focus on doing. Take that little action one step at a time, and everything is doable. Everything is achievable. If you are struggling, go seek out for help. This is what I would like to say. Never, if you have something in your heart that you want to pursue, go. It will give you immense strength to fight with your mental health, to manage your emotional health, to fight with circumstantial issues, to fight with family issues, everything. If you have something in your heart you want to pursue, go pursue it. Do not settle for anything less. All right, if you want to become an engineer, if you want to become president, go pursue how, go find out how to become a president. All right, let's wind this up. And it was great connecting with you guys. Take care of your mental health, exercise, read books. This is all I have to say. Thanks a lot. It was a great webinar. We can now disconnect. All right. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir. I'm just ending
Thank
this
you,
meeting
sir.
for all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, mom.
Thank you.